Hey everybody, hope you guys are having a good Friday so far. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the concept of a living inheritance. I know people are really reaching out to me and they're saying that they're struggling really hard on how they're going to get into this crazy housing market, right? I think I just read a study that the average house price here in Ontario or in Canada is about $700,000. So the kind of down payment you would need to qualify for a mortgage on 700,000, like the minimum is 45,000, and that's with paying $26,000 of mortgage insurance. And if you put 20% down, then that is 140,000 for your down payment. So I mean, not a lot of people have $140,000 lying around. So as a first home buyer, what do? How do you get into this market? Well, more and more people are going and talking to their parents, or as we call it, the bank of mom and dad, or the bank of their grandparents, or uncles, great aunts, that kind of thing. So today I wanted to talk about a living inheritance. So this could be one way of potentially helping you guys get into the housing market if you're struggling with coming up with that down payment. So a lot of times when we go and we talk to our parents about, maybe helping us out with a down payment, their first thought is potentially taking money out of their investments or out of their RSPs or, any other investments that they have. The problem is when you do this kind of thing and when you take money out of your RSP, for one, you're taxed on it, so you're penalized for taking out your own money. And for two, a lot of times people need those investments. That's their retirement plan, or that's how they're going to be living, right? So one concept that we could talk about is doing a reverse mortgage. Now I know that sometimes reverse mortgages get a bad rap just from the name. However, that's really what people don't understand is how they actually work, especially here in Canada. The States is a completely different ballgame. Here in Canada, reverse mortgages are, they have very strict rules, and they are a great product for quite a few people. So you do have to be over the age of 55 to do a reverse mortgage, and you're qualified based on your age and the property value. Okay, so you're not qualified on income. And actually with a reverse mortgage, there is no payments at all if you don't want to make payments. But anyway, how does this help first home buyers? Well, let's just go over a couple numbers here. For instance, say we have Frank as the parent, and he has been living in his house. He has no mortgage. His house, we'll say, is worth $500,000. I mean, that's low, but we'll just say 500 for easy numbers. And his daughter, we'll say Stephanie, is trying to purchase a house, and she needs about $100,000 for the down payment. So if Frank takes out $100,000 of equity out of his house by doing a reverse mortgage, he will have no payments on that if he doesn't want to, and he gives that to his daughter, and now all of a sudden there's two houses in the family. They've just created a whole bunch of generational wealth, okay? So she's getting her inheritance ahead of time. And now he gets to enjoy and watch his daughter get into the housing market, which is only going to get, unfortunately, harder and harder as time goes on and properties go up. So he gets to now enjoy seeing her in this home, not making any payments, not having to come up with that extra money somehow, not pulling money out of his investments and being taxed on it, but just really by doing a simple process of like a reverse mortgage, okay? When he passes away and she sells the house, she pays back that 100,000, and then now she gets also, if she's the only kid, then she gets, that property as well, and all of a sudden her net worth is just up by quite a lot, right? So it's a little bit different than like the traditional inheritance, because like I said, some of the pros are you get to be around and watch your children benefit from this idea. You are not taxed on any of this income, and it's just going to really help give people a leg up to get into the housing market. Okay, so if any of this is piquing your interest and you have any questions on what is a reverse mortgage, what are the pros and cons, how does it all work, I'd be more than happy to book a connection call with you and go over some of these details. Some of the top myths about reverse mortgages are that the bank or the the lender owns your house. That is not true. They never come on title. It's just like doing a regular mortgage. Okay, so it's the exact same situation where they're registering on title a mortgage. Okay, they're never allowed to make you sell or foreclose the house if you're not making, sorry, if as long as you're paying your property taxes. So they can never take your house from you or make you sell. That is a common myth. And they can also not, there's also a zero equity policy, which we can get into that further on a one-on-one call, okay? But basically, yes, the house is yours. They are never allowed to take your house from you, okay? Okay, so yeah, if you have any questions, that's all I wanted to talk about today. And I hope you have a great weekend. Okay, guys, talk to you soon. Bye.